Today we have Studio Woe featuring Brent Critchfield with us. Hello, Brent.
Hello, good to be here at the Dice Tower.
It's wonderful to have you. Welcome to the table.
Thank you very much.
You have laid out an interesting looking game with some little goats that look a little grumpy. So talk to me about this.
They're mal-tempered goats.
Mal-tempered, okay.
So this is Gruff.
Gruff.
It's the tactical combat card game of unstoppable battle goats. The idea is that once upon a time, they're the three billy goats, Gruff, and they were trying to cross a bridge when they got stopped by this troll that wanted to eat them. Well, the goats outsmarted the troll and knocked him off the bridge and killed it. And when that happened, their shepherds realized, you know what, we've been using goats all wrong. What we really need to do is weaponize our goats.
Oh my gosh.
So using black magic and foul science and forbidden breeding practices, you've transformed your herd into the ultimate team of fighting goats called Gruffs. So, one day you're out taking your monster goats for a walk, trying to cross a bridge, and there's this other shepherd coming from the other direction with his team of battle goats.
Well, he has to get out of the way.
Well, yeah, and he's not going to, so now we're going to fight to the death.
This seems like an appropriate response to that scenario.
I agree. In fact, I have a hard time considering what any other response to that scenario would be.
So how are we going to destroy each other?
Well, you destroy each other using your custom team of battle goats. Now, before the game would start, you choose from a larger pool of battle goats, 3 goats, and these 3 goats will start in play. They'll be your main armed force. You won't play more goats as the game goes on, but rather each of those goats comes with a little mini deck of 15 cards, and before the game starts, you'll pick 8 cards from each goat, shuffle them together to make your deck.
Okay.
Then shepherds will take turns launching attacks at each other.
Okay. So now, just to make sure I'm understanding, so each goat is unique.
Yeah, each
and
goat is
has their
unique.
own unique deck.
Yep.
And then you custom pull cards and you form your own deck for your team of goats. So
Right.
you're completely crafting your own battle goat deck
Right.
for that game.
Right, and while there's a lot of goats and it's really unlikely that you're actually going to have the same team on both sides, you could run the same team on both sides and have a completely different strategy because of your ability to train your goats into their own little special niche. Right?
Awesome. Okay.
You're a very good shepherd that way.
Awesome. Okay, so you get these custom decks, and then talk to me about the cards and how they work out then a little bit.
Yeah, sure.
So what am I looking at here?
If you look in the upper left-hand corner of each of those cards, there's this number in a purple circle. Now that number right there indicates how crazy your shepherd needs to be before they're willing to play one of those cards. And all of your goats, they've got 3 stats. They're mean, they're weird, and they're fat. And the weirdness is how...
It's kind of like me. I
exactly.
love it.
No.
That's awesome.
I built them based on myself. Yeah, every time you try to get one of your goats to do something, they're so obnoxious and so strange, they drive your shepherd insane by the amount of weird score that they have. And you channel that weirdness into your cards. So if you want to evolve one of your goats, you can play the card Evolve, but it requires 3 crazy. So to get crazy, you would activate someone like Toof. He's got a weird score of 2, so that would add on to your shepherd's crazy, so he's got 3 crazy now, and then you can play Evolve. And when you play a card like Evolve, it doesn't cause your crazy to reduce. Crazy is forever. It's like diamonds.
That is the quote of the hour for us. Crazy is forever. All right, so this, I missed this earlier, so I've got my own shepherd that represents
you've got your
me.
own shepherd.
Are shepherds variable, or are they all the same?
No, they're all variable. So if you look here, North, she's this kind of Viking Nordic uber shepherd, and she has got this special ability, a series of thresholds that trigger when her life drops below a certain point. Every time she takes damage and she crosses one of those thresholds, she gets to draw more cards. Whereas Vim has a special ability that whenever an enemy takes damage, he gets to draw a card and discard a card. So he's very aggressive. She's a little bit more defensive.
I love that. Okay, may I?
Yeah, please do.
So what I've noticed is the art's really cool in this game.
Yeah.
I mean, the goats look scary as heck, which is awesome because they're battle goats. But like the character art's really, really cool.
Yeah.
And they all have different personalities, so you can really customize the game for how you want to play it.
Our artist is phenomenal. Her name is Virginia Critchfield. I'm a big fan of her work. Yeah.
And I'm sorry, Brent, what was your last name?
It was Brent Critchfield.
Okay.
I liked it so much I married her. No.
I like how that works out. That's lovely. Well, your spouse is wonderfully talented. This is really cool.
Her passion is drawing monster goats. So she has sketchbooks and sketchbooks full of monster goats. And so it seemed inevitable that we should create a game about monster goats. So that's what we did.
I love it. And then how do I finally conquer you and get across the bridge and get you out of my way?
Well, the game has been described as like a mix between Pokemon and American football, or Final Fantasy Tactics and Red Rover. The idea is that you've got your monster goat, you're charging it forward, you're breaking through the enemy's defense and dealing damage to your shepherd. So for example, say we've got Gripja here, he's a big fat goat, and let's say he's got 8 mean. So mean is the amount of damage your goat will do when he attacks. Now, Skulldozer over here, let's say he's got 5 fat. The fat score is how much defense, how much damage he can bounce off from going to the shepherd. So if this attack would resolve, he would deal 8 damage, this guy would prevent 5 of it, it would kill Skulldozer, and then the remaining 3 damage would go over to your shepherd.
Oh, and I see I'm tracking my life over here,
and
so once I'm knocked out.
Yeah, as soon as your shepherd's life gets to 0 or all the Gruffs are dead, then that player loses the game.
Okay, so what's the average? I mean, honestly, that sounds like it plays pretty quickly.
It is. It can range anywhere between 15 to 20 minutes to 45 minutes, depends on how defensive your deck is, and also your level of experience with the game.
Okay, and I think I heard you mention earlier when we were chatting earlier that this is a standalone game, but this is an expansion, or did I mishear you?
This is the standalone expansion to Gruff.
Okay.
However, this specific expansion was designed to be a great entry point into the world of Gruff. So we did a couple things that make this an easier game to learn than Gruff is. For example, we have a lot of cards that have these little starting star symbols in the bottom right-hand corner. Well, we talked about that process of training your Gruffs before, how you pick 8 cards. That can be a little daunting for your first time, so we have a recommended 8 cards for your very first time playing, so that you have a basis of comparison when you start out.
And is this expansion, this standalone expansion in Gruff, is that available today, or when will people?
It's absolutely available through all major distributors. So you could go to your hobby shop, and if they don't have it, you can just ask them for it and they'll pick it up for you.
That's great. And what's the MSRP on it?
Clash of the Battle Goats is $25, and the larger game, Gruff, which is also a standalone game, is $35.
Okay. And we have 2, you've shown me a couple characters. How many characters come in the expansion?
The expansion has 6 goats, so all 6 of these goats and 6 shepherds, whereas the base game of Gruff comes with 15 goats and 7 shepherds.
And with the way you described how the decks all work, that is a ton of customization. So there's a lot of gameplay.
Yeah.
If you're to have both sets, you can just make teams endlessly.
Yeah, one of my favorite things to do with the big box of Gruff is you actually lay out all 15 goats on the table, and with a group of 4 people, you take turns drafting
You draft them.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be super fun.
Make decks on the fly. You'd be like, oh, he's taking Bucket, but Bucket is super good with Bubbles, so I'm going to cut him off, and I'm going to take Bubbles because he took Bucket.
I love Bucket and Bubbles.
Yeah, me too.
They're the best.
They're the best.
Brent, thank you so much for coming by.
Oh, thank you.
I really appreciate you showing us Gruff today. This is clever and common theme. I deeply appreciate.
Thanks for taking the time.
And tell your artist she's very talented.
I will. I'll make sure she knows.
And thank you everybody out there in Dice Tower Land for watching us talk with Brent